Okay, awesome. I think we're all set up. Welcome to the Tier 3 Australian Grand Prix here at ISRL Esports. It's round 12 of 18, so we're approaching the end of the season, the final couple of races that wind down the championship. And yeah, this one here this weekend in Melbourne, Albert Park. I was trying to say Melbourne Park there for a second. ISRL Night with ISRL Carter in the booth. Carter, we've had a couple of laps in qualifying already from some of these drivers. What are we looking for the rest of this session here?
Well, it's hard to say. It's so early into qualifying. So guys still trying to get too early to see in terms of maybe which drivers have the advantage, or which drivers have the advantage or not. But it looks like you've got some of the leader so far setting a good pace. Ix, as we usually see him up front in qualifying to begin with, and Cozy and R1 as well. Hazen's trying to get in amongst the pack too, so still got a long way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. 13 minutes left in qualifying. Only 6 drivers now have set a lap, and like you said, is Mivako out ahead. We don't have a whole ton of drivers in the pits, though. Everyone just about is on track right now. We're looking at ISRL Stunik. He's coming around the final couple of corners, and this AlphaTauri driver now, he is in. Let's see where he is in the championship. He's P6. But he dives into the pits, so not setting a lap there. Hartman just starting his lap. Killing for Cash is on a flyer as well. Gets a bit of grass there on the exit. That's going to slow him down. He's got to be careful. There's a McLaren going a little bit slow ahead. Doesn't want to invalidate, and I think that's the McLaren in the pits. Yeah. So on the exit, let's see where Killing for Cash ends up. And it's going to be P9 for him. 123.8. Good start. His teammate behind him, Benbo Gaming, I think he's just starting his hot lap. Maybe a little bit of team play going on. I think they're a little bit too far for a tow right now, the two Williams teammates.
Yeah, just a little bit too far. Maybe didn't get the timing right there. Looking right now, Chilmo and the other AlphaTauri we were just talking about, starting on a lap. Just finishing up sector 1, and it's a little bit too wide there, too much curve, too far over. That's going to be an invalidation, so I'll have to try again. Hartman, he is also invalidated.
Yeah, a couple of drivers struggling maybe a little bit with track limits early on. Normally we see more than 11 laps set by now. Hartman there, we saw him slow down, I think, before jumping on throttle. Maybe had a little bit of a moment, but that's not going to help his lap time if he's going again, that's for sure. The deck is in the pits. That's Catastrophic on track right now, who's just starting maybe his first hot lap. Do you think he's qualifying today?
Not so sure about it, but we've got Benbo coming around the penultimate corner. He is on a flyer. DRS wide open now. We're going to see where the Williams is going to start, or it's going to set this time at. Only good enough for 10th. About nearly 3 seconds off of Mivako's time, but a big gap in between the other drivers as well. So, but to get back to your point with Killing for Cat, or with Catastrophic, he is on a hot lap. So we'll just have to see where it goes. He's maybe ditching the strategy for this race.
Yeah, he is, like you said, he is pushing. Remains to see if he just keeps pushing or if he dives into the pits at some points. But he does set a purple middle sector, so Catastrophic might be trying to start near the front. Now, his strategy has not worked out for him the last couple of races. Of course, he got some podiums even early on by not qualifying and avoiding the early race carnage. But I think as these drivers race together a bit more, and he's going to dive into the pits. But I was going to say, as these drivers get to know each other a bit more, they're less prone to having incidents. It's probably not as effective. There's less safety cars, just little flags, less people having to pit for various reasons. So, oh, Chill Mo goes P4. That's a great lap.
Goes faster than F1 Richie. Wow, a great lap from Chilmo. Yeah, as you said, we've been starting to see him pick up the pace a little bit, and really start to nail the corners these past couple of tracks, past couple of races, and at least in qualifying, we've seen him jump as high as I think P4 is the highest we've seen him right now, but we've seen him in amongst the top 10, getting better it seems for Chilmo.
And we just saw his teammate there drive by him. That's Stunik, who's trying his hand again. Of course, I think he invalidated his first time around. But we were talking about Chilmo. He's 12th in the championship, 75 points. Sits 4 behind Hartman at 79. And after that, it's quite a big of a gap. The deck in 10th, 93 points. D-Mort 9th, 95. Kloonberg right ahead, but Kloonberg unfortunately no longer racing full-time, just due to scheduling issues. So I guess everybody essentially picks up a position. But Kloonberg at 96 points, Krago in 7th at 100, and after that, quite a bit gap again to a Stunik, 151. So for Chilmo, realistically, he can keep up this performance from now until the end of the season, and he's got a legitimate shot at least 7.
There goes his teammate.
Yeah, Stunik, P3. Yeah, he's got a legitimate shot at 7th place, this Chilmo. Maybe with some bad luck ahead, maybe a Stunik or Bilton Matt retire a couple times and he gets a win or a podium. We could see him maybe challenge for 6th, but Chilmo's starting to turn his season around. He's had a kind of a slow start, but it's good to see him doing better. Joseph Cozy, another driver who's been turning his fortunes around recently, in P7 right now with the 122.1. I think there's still a little bit that he can take out of that lap. I think he's on one right now, actually, if you want to take us through it.
Yeah, he is. I'm going to quickly jump to your sweet mate, Fallen Monkeys, goes 10th. Now I'm going to quickly jump back over to Joseph Cozy. He's glad you caught that sweet mate. There, but now this is jumping on with Cozy. The corner that he just went through is a very, very odd braking zone. You want to keep the car as straight as possible when you brake to slow it down as quickly as possible. You want to get, with this one, shift up into 4th very, very quickly, get on the power, as little wheel spin as possible. Now here's another one, the infamous back straight chicane.
Ooh.
Again, very
some
easy.
validation there
Just
from Cozy.
Yeah, about to mention, it's very easy, much easier it seems this year from last year, of cutting the second part of that chicane, that inside one that you just saw Cozy do. It's a little bit stricter than usual, but yeah, that's his lap over for now. I can jump over. Looks like ISRL X, he's on a hot lap, basically right where, well,
nope, not anymore.
I was going to say right where Cozy left off, but and that iconic looking 16 on the Alfa Romeo, or is that 15? But say
it's
it looked
15.
Like Leclerc's old car, but no. So yeah, X will come into the pits. Just under 6 minutes left now.
End of the world.
With a pretty strong as well.
Yeah, Mivako, yeah, he's 5/10 ahead of D-Morts, who's in P2. I think he's regained that confidence back at the top. Is he on another flyer right now? I do believe so.
He wants to be sure he gets his pole position.
Now, looking at the tire data, it looks like pretty universally the fastest time has all been set on the soft tires, right down to Maverick in P14. So, tire of choice seems to be the softs. Now, in terms of strategy, that does open you up to a two-stop. Like it'd be very hard to, I think, keep pace in a one-stop, a soft to medium or a soft to hard one-stop around here. So we're probably going to be looking at a two-stop during the race.
Yep, and it's interesting just hearing, all the drivers around all the tiers in the paddock. Just I've never heard so much, so many different ideas of a strategy. I mean, usually it's a easy one stop. No, I don't want to touch the hards this weekend. I've heard it seems like 5 different strategies with all 3 combinations.
Mivako, sorry to interrupt there, while we were talking, beats his time by 10th.
Did he?
Yeah, gets down to 120.1. So, yeah, Mivako looking strong as ever. But no, like you were saying, it's true. There's no apparent consensus around the strategy this weekend. We see the 2 Alfa Romeos. Not sure if they're battling or if Mivako's trying to pull ISRL X up the order just a little bit. They might be just a little bit too close for that, as you can see. Yeah, you get a good toe there, but it might affect you in the dirty airs. I think ISRL X isn't pushing right now. He's just on his outlap.
You don't want to be behind someone right here, especially on a flying lap, because you don't want to get that. Yeah, then, well, you know.
Now we do have Joran Visser and another Dutch name that I'm not going to try to pronounce because I'd embarrass myself. Having some fun in the chat there. I see Kyle Hartman as well saying let's go. Unfortunately, I don't speak Dutch, so I can't repeat anything that they said. But yeah, it seems like they're having quite a lengthy conversation there in our live stream. You can learn. You can teach me.
You can teach us. Awesome.
Yeah. Start by
Google
telling me
Translate.
what
That's
a Cohen upper
way.
goat is, and we'll go from there.
I can tell
2 minutes. Oh yeah, go ahead, Carter.
I can tell you what Joseph Cozy wants right now, and that's to build off an impressive P8 at the moment. There's a Mercedes coming. Maverick's going to start a lap. I'm going to give it back to you, but yeah, Cozy already should be very impressed and proud of himself, but I think he can go a little bit faster.
So yeah, Cozy at the 122.1 right now, and he's a 10th up on his time through Sector 1. And so good start, as obviously as the track warms up and it gets a bit grippier through the session, you're going to get that natural progression. But he's putting in a good time so far. It's going to be key that he can hold it in through this chicane. You don't want to lose time. It's quite easy to lose time here. So he goes a little bit, and there he goes. And Cozy out of the session here. I was going to say it's very easy to lose it at the chicane. It's very easy to go wide too and invalidate your lap. But into the barriers goes Joseph Cozy. We're on board with him for that one. And big impact. I think, did he get some grass there, or was that just too much curve on the exit? Oh, and Monkeys with a big moment as well. Mostly keeps it out of the wall, but that's going to be the end of his qualifying session. Driver's pushing to the limit here. Trying to extract every 10th possible out of the car. His teammate Maverick in the pit box. Is that catastrophic? I'm seeing on track. He's in the grass. That's not going to do his tires any good.
Usually where you want to go.
He's going to cut back into the pits there.
But yeah, Sunik. Going back to that. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say Sunik is starting another lap.
Yeah, wants to improve on that P3, but yeah, going back to Cozy's incident, he cut the middle part again. I think just reacting to that invalidation, tried to correct it, and he did it too much, and got on the outside gravel trap and spun it around. So surprisingly, that's one of the few victims we've seen of the back straight chicane. Usually we talk about it all the time, but it's only this first.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say I was expecting more drivers to have moments there in qualifying. Only one so far, but it's a corner that if you push just a little bit too hard on, it's quite easy to have the rear end of the car step out. I saw Azen improve up into P3 there as we're on board with Stunik, and he's going to invalidate on the exit of that corner. That's going to be the end of his qualifying session. End of the world coming around the final set of corners. He's invalidated his lap time as well, and so not a whole lot of people trying to improve their lap times at the end of the session here. I think is that, Chilmo is in the pits as well. There's a Alfa Romeo out on track. Of course, it's Mivako. We wonder why he's close to the top often. I think he's the one we've seen set the most lap times in this session, and he's going to keep trying to beat his lap time, his third try. And is he going to improve again? And he will. He brings it down into 1:19, beats his best time by half a second, and improves his pole position advantage to what is the gap now? 8 tenths of a second, or 6 tenths. I'm very bad at math and numbers. Over Demorts in the Renault. Demorts did come very close to him there in the closing stages, but unfortunately not able to close it up. Here comes Craigo, and Craigo goes P5. Well done from the Ferrari driver. Last one to settle lap time here, and that's the end of qualifying. Carter, yeah, what have you learned here? We're a session down, one more session to go, the race, of course, and what's changed, I think, since we came in here?
Well, what's definitely, been apparent, what's come into, fruition is that a lot of the guys that, we're not used to seeing up in the top 5, top 7, we're starting to see a couple of them. Guys like Chill Mo, Joseph Cozy, even though he did end up crashing out and falling to 11th, they're up there, competing. So this may be a good chance for some guys to get some good points that usually don't get to. So we'll have to be looking for that for sure. But yeah, Mivako just absolutely blew everyone away in qualifying. Hopefully, for his sake, looking to do the same in the race.
Absolutely. And so your order: Mivako, Demorts, Azen, Stunik, Craigo, End of the World, Chill Mo, F1 Richie, ISRL X, Bembo Gaming. That closes out your top 10. And then on the free tire choice, Cozy, I believe that was Monkeys right after, Hartman Esports, RR1 Wing. And I'm going to have to read the rest there when we load in, as I've been... Oh, wait, maybe if... there you go. Yeah, RR1 Wing in 14th, Maverick in 15th, Killing for Cash 16th, Scarlo 17th, and then the 2 Racing Points, as usual, opting not to qualify. They start at the rear. They get free tire choice. They get to kind of dictate their race strategy. They've made it work for them, but you have to start to wonder at which point they're going to try to change it up, because the last few races have not worked out in their favor.
Yeah, usually, what's the saying? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, for the first half of the season, I'd have to say don't fix it.
It wasn't broke,
working.
Yeah.
But these past couple of races, as you said, and whether it's, just the track or what, but, if it doesn't work out again today, you might start to see the Racing Points switch things up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot riding on this race. In many different ways, because
but not literally. There's no way.
For Richie, he needs to perform here if he wants to catch up to Mivako. For Catastrophic as well, he's seeing those 2 leaders slip away. He's in P3 in the championship with 204 points. Azen and Bilton Matt are also going to have to perform today. Actually, Bilton Matt's not in here, so he's not going to be able to perform. But Azen is going to have to perform if he wants to keep his championship hopes alive. He's almost 100 points back from Mivako. And the top 4, as it stands in your standings, it's Mivako at 286, F1 Richie 231, Catastrophic 204, Azen 193. So in terms of, Azen's in P3. He's put himself up in a good position. F1 Richie, though, starting on the bottom half of the top 10 for the second race running. He started P7 last week. And, Catastrophic, of course, we've covered. He starts at the back. But a lot of drivers are going to have some hard work to do, I think, to get themselves back up near the top.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, F1 Richie had a roller coaster of a race in terms of emotions. So, just because you maybe start lower than you think, doesn't mean the end of the world, no pun intended, he's in love. But yeah, just have to I think we'll have a good idea after the first couple of laps of everyone's true pace.
Absolutely. Looking at the tire data quickly, it looks obviously the top 10, they all qualified on the softs. They have to start on their qualifying set of tires. But outside the top 10, interestingly enough, Cozy Monkeys and Hartman, P11 to P13, opting for the softs as well. Maverick and Scarlo on the softs, everyone else on the medium. So there's only 4 cars running the medium tires.
Yeah, which means that if it works out for them, then, you know, we got a whole lot of drivers who, you know, maybe chose the wrong strategy. Big risk, big reward type of strategy for those 4 drivers. But
absolutely.
Starting to get lined up
before we start the race, I did want to point out, I just realized I haven't yet. The weather forecast does predict some rain towards the very end of this race. No indication on if it's going to be affecting, like, hard enough to affect the tires that the drivers are on, or if it's just going to be too late. But here we go, 3 lights, 4, 5, and we're off in Australia. And it's a good start from Mivako. It's a good start from Demorts and Azen as well. Looks like everyone's getting off clean. Mivako getting a little bit deep there on the corner. And there's a yellow flag. That's a Ferrari. That's F1 Richie who spun around. And look at this. A Stunik on Azen. And, oh no, that's not Azen. I'm not even sure who he's battling right now because the side is all messed up. It is Azen. The Stunik on Azen for P3 does not get the move done. As we see Mivako and Demorts trailing off in the distance. Mivako had an excellent start and fighting for the podium now is Stunik. Right behind him though, it's Krago and Chilmo going at it. Chilmo, look how close he is to that Ferrari. He's going to dive down the inside and he's not. He's going to think better of it. We see a Red Bull trying to size up a move on his teammate in the background. ISRL X as well. We saw him battling people, but it looks like for the most part they made it through okay. F1 Richie though, that's a disastrous start to his race as he gets set all the way to the back.
Yeah, what is it? We're having deja vu all of a sudden, or at least F1 Richie is. First lap, first corner, down to last place.
Oh, here we go. That's killing for cash is out. And oh, we've had a spin here from a Stunik. And a Stunik dropping down the order there. He's had a spin on the exit of, where was that?
Car.
There's a safety car now, debris.
There's a bunch of Alpha Tauri winglets scattered across the track. Surprisingly though, F1 Richie didn't get any damage what it looked like when he spun. Killing for cash then was the guy who caused the safety car, first victim of the race of the backstraight chicane.
So he's going to pick up a 5-second penalty, but Stunik, that was very fortunate for him. Now it's cost him a little bit here as he wasn't able to get the car slowed down in time, but super fortunate here that there's a safety car right after his crash because he gets his wing changed and he's not going to be 30 seconds behind the rest of the pack. Of course, still unfortunate though that he was running very well in P4 before that incident.
Yeah, you know, the only silver lining, I guess you could say, is that the safety car came out because, as you said, he was in the top 5. Hard to, you know, be positive after something like that happens. But, you know, again, only lap 2, still a long race to go.
Jediant in our chat saying, I raced against Mivako midweek. His pace was electric around here. He's certainly showing it so far, conserving his lead off of the start. Uran Visser says, we'll see. It looks like an easy win for Azen. And then Cohen Nishkamp says, probably. I hope I said that right. That was a name I didn't want to say earlier, but I feel like I've read it enough times now that I vaguely get an understanding of the letters in it. Here we go, though. Yeah, under safety car. Looking at your order, I've had the graphic up for a little bit here. But the top 3 holding position, Krago up a place, End of the World, Chilmo up a place as well. That's from Stunik spinning out. Bembo with a good start. He's up 3 places. Hartman up 4 places in P9. So he started P13. Oh, don't get some grass there, Hartman. That's not good for your tires. Our one wing as well gaining positions off the start. And then the deck and Catastrophic, surprisingly, the Racing Points not actually gaining any positions off the start because, of course, everyone who is behind them either pit or had an accident. So the Racing Point's not apparently passing anybody on track since the start of the race.
We were only racing for about maybe 40 seconds before we had to stop racing it. So
well, we did make it through most of a lap.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see. I'll agree with you if I see more of the non-passing.
Yeah, I'm talking from the point of view though that catastrophic. We've seen him in the top 10 by now, safety car or not, after some of the races so far this season, where he gets this great start and he passes a whole bunch of people into turn 1, and then slowly, you know, he finishes lap 1 maybe in 12th or 13th, and then he slowly carves his way through the rest of the pack, but not gaining any on-track positions there. So we're gonna have to keep an eye there on the pink team for the foreseeable laps. We're still in their safety car though. For the time being, I think the debris has been cleared up. I think there's no cars out on the track anymore. So hopefully safety car in this lap, maybe.
Yeah, it picked him up. It picked him up very quickly. No one had to obviously go past the safety car. So right as they crossed the finish line, the safety car was there waiting to pick them up. So everyone was already in a queue. So yep. Race control tells us we're going to go back green at the end of this lap.
Safety car in this lap. Mivako is going to slow down the field, and now it's all in his hands. He gets to pace himself. He gets to pace the field for the next couple of corners as he lets the safety car head on its way. And here's the part where I think he's gonna. Oh, we got a 5-second penalty for Team Morts. Apparently making contact with Aizen under safety car. It's going to be. I feel like we might see that one appealed. I didn't see any contact.
No, I didn't either, but, you know, it's not surprising that it pops up. We see it all the time at safety car restarts.
Yeah. And Mivako's going to get started just any second here. He's going to try to get them by surprise, and here he goes. And he has caught them by surprise. The driver's got to be careful here not to spin it out the last corner on cold tires. And Mivako already... I was saying that we do have a spin in the back. That's the Mercedes of Fallen Monkeys. But Mivako already 1.1 second ahead of D-Morse. He got a great run off of the first corner. Aizen able to catch up to the man in front of him. In the background is that End of the World trying to make a move on Krago. He ups against it as Krago shuts the door. Chilmo losing a little bit of grounds there off the restart. That's Benbow Gaming who's chasing him in the Williams. And after that, there's a bit of a gap there to ISRL X. I think maybe just not getting as quick on the power there on the restart. Now he's under pressure from the two Red Bulls.
Yep, Hartman Cozy almost in tandem trying to get past that Alpha. Good restart though by Benbow. He's got himself up into 7th. Chilmo as well, standing strong in the top 10 for now. And yeah, Mivako just absolutely set sail.
Yeah,
second and 3/10 gain in less than a lap was pretty impressive.
1.4 now as he works his way through the final set of corners. Aizen, I think, is going to be looking to get closer to D-Morts on the straightaway. DRS is not yet enabled. We did finish a safety car here, so they're going to have to complete another lap around this circuit before they get DRS, and then after that it's going to be another half a lap because they don't get DRS on the main straights on the first lap that is enabled because the detection point is before the start-finish line. So there's still quite a bit of time for D-Morse to get back into DRS range to Mivako before he starts feeling the pressure of Aizen. And there is, similarly, there's still some time for him to get away from Aizen as he's doing that right now, bringing that gap to over a second.
Yeah, he wants to keep Aizen out of his DRS range as they rapidly approach the first DRS straight that they are allowed to use. Doesn't look like either of them will get it off of the cars in front or behind it. End of the World will get DRS off of Krago if he can hold it, and he does.
Yeah, I think they still got about half a lap to go, if I'm right, before the DRS is enabled, and I think he's going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. Not going to get close enough this time. But the two Renaults running very well so far this weekend after spending much of the season on the lower half of the grid, as they've had a change of drivers, I guess new team philosophy, maybe you could say. And having a good race. Yeah, he's in pits. So is there damage? No, there's no damage on that car. But looking at his tires, maybe it's just a preventive one, trying to get an undercut.
This is a very,
or is that
very,
a drive-through?
Early stop. It's
a drive-through.
This was maybe for that penalty that he got. No, that's a weird one, because contact under safety car wouldn't be a drive-through.
He may have gone a drive-through there before the safety car picked up the leader, but that's very bad for Aizen's race. This sends him all the way down into P16, and more importantly, it kind of unleashes Dumorts there to chase down Mivako, as he no longer has to worry about the car behind.
He's got a bit of a safety net. End of the world, really putting the pressure on Craig over that final podium position now that Aizen had to drop out. So now that DRS is actually enabled this lap.
Yeah, it's end of the world. Yo, there you go. They got very close, but by the time they reach the braking zone, it's end of the world ahead. Oh no, but Craigo is going to have another go here, and they're going to be side by side. And look at this, around the outside goes end of the world, watching the braking zone. Don't want to make contact. There's a yellow flag behind. I think that's Aizen, who's spun around coming out of turn 12.
Just
but in front here, end of the world gets it done on Craigo, and yeah, onwards he goes. Aizen, though, his race has gone from bad to worse as he spins around turn 12. And luckily for him, no damage. At least it doesn't look like he's picked up any. But that really kind of puts a damper on his what was left of his race, as those tires must be getting worn by now. End of the world already setting a good gap to Craigo. It's behind him though. Chill Mo, who's not only closing in on him, but he's bringing the pack with them. Bembo, ISRL X, Cozy, Hartman, Maverick, Catastrophic, all right behind in a queue, all within DRS range, or very close to it. And Chill Mo, yeah, I don't think he's holding them back, but more, I think he's running for his life here.
He sees about 10 cars in his rearview mirror. He's like, well, there's a car in front of me, and if I get within a second of him, I can get some extra speed. So he's probably looking to do that. But yeah, and as you said, not holding him up, but just absolutely running for his life. And he's doing a good job. He's holding his own.
Absolutely, and yeah, he's keeping Bembo out of DRS range, but that might have a bit more to do with the fact that Bembo has ISRL X for company, and ISRL X is pressuring him. He is within DRS range, and he is catching up to that Williams lap to lap. He was a second away just a lap ago, and now he's 6/10. Of course, though, look at Cozy right behind him. I think Cozy's going to be making the move on ISRL X before X gets close to Benbow Gaming. That Red Bull looking absolutely strong today. He's up in PA. Oh, ISRL X has a little bit of trouble with that curb there. Very easy to get your car beached. And Cozy's going to have a run. And down the inside, oh my goodness, there's contact. Cozy does an excellent job saving that car. And now his teammate is going to try to make a move on him, getting very close to the wall. Right behind him, Maverick. It's 4 cars trying to get battling for position into that corner. And as ISRL Hicks almost spins around Cozy, it looks like he's able to catch the car, survive too the attack from his teammate and the Maverick, and carry on, and X so lucky, and X is around there. That's another car having trouble coming out of turn 12 as he tries to get it turned around. I don't see any damage on that Alfa Romeo. It looks like he was able to save that and keep it out of the wall. So very well. Mivako pits though, everything unfolding in the span of a lap as Mivako pits, Craigo pits as well, and we got another yellow flag. Is that X again spinning on those obviously heated tires? And I hope he was able to keep it out of the wall that time as well. Yeah, I think so. doesn't look like there's any damage to the front wing of that car. Where does Mivako come out? There's so much stuff happening all at once here.
He ironically comes out right ahead of F1 Richie. But just a quick question. Have we seen damage on any cars today after they...
Yes, Cozy crashed out in qualifying. Yeah, I think, and Stunik had massive front wing damage as well after his spin in turn 14 or turn 13. Sorry. But yes, I think Aizen and Ix both just getting very, very lucky and keeping out of the wall there. So I'm trying to spot up the grid there. Yeah, there you go. They're still battling up ahead here, Maverick and Hartman. But Maverick apparently getting ahead of the second Red Bull now. Cozy is ahead, but Maverick between. The two bulls. Oh, and here goes Cozy, I think, in the pits. Yes. Chilmo pits, Cozy pits, D-Mort's pits, and that unleashes End of the World into
Chilmo's
P1.
Going so slow. Chilmo was using the pit limiter for about 5 seconds before the line and just slowed up Cozy.
And I didn't catch that on the stream there. Of course, he is allowed to go the speed he wants in the pit entrance, but Cozy is allowed to pass him too. Not every pit lane allows for space to do that though, so maybe Cozy getting just held up a little bit, and that should cost him. And look how eager he is to get past the AlphaTauri coming out of the pit lane, getting some wheels on the grass there, just trying to work his way past. And I think we're going to get a cool little battle coming out of the pits here as let's take another look at our tire graph. And I think that's Chilmo on the mediums, Cozy on the hards, and then Bembo right behind him on the hard tire as well. So we're starting to see a split in strategy for this race. We're seeing a lot of hard tires come out, and at the same time we're seeing a lot of guys pit for the medium. So what's the thought process behind that?
Not sure at the moment. I mean, hards will definitely go to the end of the race from now. Mediums, you know, if it depends on how well the softs felt for the drivers. If they thought that they could stretch it out more easily, then maybe they feel like they could stretch the mediums out. We'll just have to see. But the leader is into the pits. Who will take over?
And yeah, our new leader is in the pits, Hartman in the pits as well, and that's Scar Logan. Now, he was one of the first ones to pit, and out of nowhere, Scar Logan is in the lead. Last time I looked at Scar Logan's name, he was in P17.
Huge turn of fortunes for Scarlo, but he's got Mivako only about just under 2 seconds behind him and 18 laps to go.
Yeah, and behind him here, there goes Stunik on the deck. The deck not pitted yet. Catastrophic has pit though. Catastrophic on the hard tires, so I think he's going to be trying to go to the end. The deck though still remains to be seen what strategy he goes for. He's had the chance to pit since his teammate opted not to. He's running out those medium tires now for 10 laps. So I think there's still a couple of laps to go. Who I'm curious about is Maverick here. 10 lap old soft compound tires. Is he struggling? I think so, yeah. We're seeing a little bit of a lockup, and he's forced to go quite slowly. And Mivako gonna get an easy overtake on him. Yeah, not even breaking a sweat there.
That's P2 for the championship leader. Now Scarlo is he going to have to pit again? Obviously, well, I mean, yes, he will have to pit again.
Yeah.
When is he going to have to pit?
Well, Scar Logan, Mivako, I think they're both going to have to pit again. So Scar Logan might have put himself in a great position here. Of course, a lot of that was due to the safety car, but he is running P1 with a pit stop to go. And looking down the grid, there's not a whole lot of people who aren't going to pit again. At least, unless these tires last dramatically longer than we expected. I think D-Morts might not have to pit again. He's on the hards, or 2 laps old. Hartman isn't going to have to pit again. And Cozy and Bembo as well. I don't think they're going to have to pit again, unless somehow the medium tires last until the end of the race.
Yep, so they're hoping that... or the hard tire runners are hoping that these mediums just fall off maybe 5 to go and give them the best opportunity to regain the ground they may have lost. But Stunek not going to have to pit again, though. You know, I think depending on how these tires hold up, he is in a pretty good spot.
Remains to be seen if he doesn't have to pit again. Those tires are a couple of laps old already, and they're still... I mean, it doesn't look like there's too many laps to go. We're seeing 12 out of 29. That's still 17 laps to go. We're not at the halfway point of this race yet.
Yeah, and leaves plenty of time for basically anything to happen, anything to go wrong. Maverick pits, 11 tires, old on the soft, goes on to the mediums. Now, for his sake, it's much more safe. In terms of the chances of his mediums.
Yeah, of course.
Now, is it getting darker?
It is. There is rain predicted for the end of the race. It just, we don't know exactly when it's going to hit, and we don't know exactly how hard it's going to be. We saw, I guess, the clouds coming our way. It is getting less sunny, though. You're right, and with that, track temperatures are going to cool, and maybe the hard tires aren't going to be as effective.
One camera angle definitely look darker.
Oh, it 100% does.
It is a little darker,
a bit of contact there between Demorts and the deck. I think neither really knowing the other one was there. Just some wheel-to-wheel stuff. Demorts gets ahead. Both drivers carry on their way. I don't think we're going to get too worried about that one. But the deck now in P6. We saw him as high up as P4 earlier. And up in front here, Demorts trying to move on Richie. He goes deep, though. Richie forced a slam on the brakes there. Almost loses it to the deck 91. And look at the other Renault of End of the World there. Both Renaults challenging for the win right now. And they're both very eager to get past these guys who are on different pit strategies to them, because they're just seeing Mivako up there catching up to Scar Logan, and I think they're worried that if he gets past Scar Logan, he's gone, and they're not going to be able to catch up to him again.
I think that is exactly what they are thinking right now. End of the World gets past the deck, but now... You know, I mean, Mivako is just now catching Scarlo for the lead of the race.
And they have, Demorts has about 7 seconds to cover before he gets back to Mivako. 4 seconds off of Asunik, who's 3 seconds off of Mivako himself. So, can Scar Logan make that car extremely wide? We'll see. We got a battle for the lead here. Scar Logan, who's on a different pit strategy, but he's making it work there. Those, big moment from the both of them. Those are 12-lap old medium tires. He's going to cover the inside.
Whoa.
He's going to let him by. I think Scar Logan realizing that this is not his battle to fight. I don't know if that grass was, if he got on the grass intentionally there. I think he was trying to get the inside line and maybe just dipped a wheel and had to slow down. Oh, he's pitting. There you go. So that explains to Scar Logan saying, "Well, I'm pitting this lap. I'm not gonna risk an accident fighting for a position. I'm gonna lose anyway." So, wise decision there from the Haas driver. We'll see where he comes out.
Yeah, I think he could have lost a lot less time though. Maybe braked a little bit less. He slowed down a whole lot and stayed stopped for probably longer than he wanted.
Yeah, and I did just catch it. I was scrolling through. I did just catch F1 Richie in End of the World battling it out. End of the World getting up into P4 now as he gets past the Ferrari. We're seeing a lot of guys dip some wheels into the grass. Oh, and we've had a big accident in the back there. I caught that out of the corner of my head as Fallen Monkeys, who's hit the wall coming out of turn 12, lost two wheels. That's the entire left side of his car is just disintegrated. Apparently, we got a VSC that's gonna neutralize the race. And right on board with Mivako, who's the closest car to him as he's coming around. And on the left hand side there, he went off track. He hit, and there you go. This car just parked across the racetrack, and as it gets collected by the virtual stewards there in front of Asunik, disappears, and that's a second DNF from the race, third victim of the day. And Chris says no safety car yet. We've had one at the start of this race. Oh, and VSC is over. Here we go. Mivako back in full throttle there, and Stunek, who's done a very good job, I think, getting himself back up into contention. We're going to have to see if he has to pit again. 14-lap-old hard tires. A safety car there would have been an absolute blessing for him, I think. Yep. Unfortunately, not going to get one, though, because he would have been able to pit, essentially, a free pit stop, and would have been good to the end. Now he's going to have to nurse those tires for a considerable amount of time.
Yeah, 30 laps or 28 laps on a pair of hard tires. You know, maybe any other track sounds, you know, doable-ish, but no, not. You'd have to really nurse those tires home. But you know, maybe just the excitement of being in P2 will help him do it.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful camera shot there of Stunek through sector 1 and 2. I just had to pause there and let you do the talking because I was just busy enjoying the sights. That was wonderful. Anyways, he's losing time to Mivako now that Mivako's unleashing to clear air there, going from 3 seconds to 5.1 in the span of a lap. I think those tires, not only are they starting to fall off, but it's getting much darker and the track is getting much cooler, and these cars don't have the same amount of grip as they had just a few laps ago when the sun was beaming down, warming up the tarmac.
Now, something that I was questioning earlier, when Scarlo pitted, he went onto the softs about 2 laps ago. And at first, you know, you're thinking 13 laps on softs is not going to work. Is he thinking that it may rain?
He might be gambling on the inters.
Or not even having to pit for the inters, knowing that the soft would be so much better than the hards or mediums.
Yeah. It might be just a big brain play there from Scar Logan. We're seeing Hartman and Shilmo having a bit of a battle. Krago getting past the deck as well, right ahead of them on the racetrack. Well, I say right ahead. They're full straightaway ahead, but they are right ahead of them on the order. Shilmo, no answer for Hartman, even though he's on that softer tire, well, on the medium compound tire, so it's softer compared to Hartman's tires. And they're only a lap older, so Hartman with some pace, I think, that he hasn't had in a couple of races here as he gets himself up into P9.
Yeah, and now he's got a big gap to Scarlo, which, you know, is probably going to get, you know, even bigger. He's not going to catch him on the much harder tire combo than Scarlo. Mivako is, you know, continuing to pull away. D-Morts is actually slowly closing in the Stunek. You can see nearly half the lifespan as the Alpha Tauri. And, yeah, it's not getting dark as fast as probably, you know.
I thought there was a big moment there from Hartman, but no, I think it was just a bit of a latency issue. Looked like he got a big snap of oversteer halfway through the corner, and he was destined for the gravel trap. But luckily for him, no, he's kept it on track, and now he's just got Shilmo to contend with, as I think everyone's kind of mellowed out here, and they're nursing their tires. We're not seeing nearly as many battles through the race, through the field. Just these two there. Shilmo trying to catch up to Hartman, and Joseph Cozy trying to catch up to, or so trying to fend off Catastrophic. Right behind them, they also have Maverick for company, who's been having a decent race here so far.
Yeah, so far, so good for him.
Knocked over.
Okay?
Yeah, it knocked over my my drink. No, it's okay. It's just it's on the table, so it's gonna stay there for a little bit.
Speaking of water.
Oh, it's
really
not water.
It's
it's something with a bit more caffeine than that.
Well, it is starting to get a little. Definitely through this last lap, I feel like looking at the track's even gotten a darker gray color almost.
Yeah, running on board with the Maverick there, so we get a better look at the clouds. And it looks to be fairly clear up here through turns 14, the Ascari and the Stewart corners through 13 and 14. But it's heading towards the right here, this penultimate corner in this direction. I believe southeast, coming from the southeast. We're getting some dark clouds, and I think that's going to end up washing over the racetrack in these final laps there, as Yeah, Chilmo got past Hartman. I missed that there. I was looking at the sky. Chilmo getting past Hartman, and then Cozy had to go at his teammate as well, and Catastrophic thinking about it, not going for it though. Oh, Mivako picking up a penalty. That's not something we see very often.
Not too often. Depending on how many he racked up, you know, through the other parts of the race, which I don't think was very many. I feel like that's the first time I saw his name. It shouldn't affect him, I don't think.
It all depends on whether or not we get another safety car, does it?
That is very true.
Scar Logan.
Rain.
Yeah, Scar Logan getting very close to Craigo here in the Ferraris. The two Ferraris running very well there in P5, P6, right behind the two Renaults. And Scar Logan definitely running ahead of his teammate. RR One Wing had a great start to the race. We saw him as high as P5 or P6, I believe. I think he's had an incident off camera there that he's had to pit for, and that's why he's all the way down in P17. Scar Logan not able to make a move yet. Oops, I flicked the wrong way there on the camera. Sorry about that. But he is going to be able to now, and Scar Logan on the outside is going to turn in. They make a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact, but all's fair in love and war, they say. So they let that one slide, and Scar Logan slides ahead of Craigo. And in the back there, that's Chilmo and Hartman. Still very close to each other, and still these 5 cars are in this train, and they're just not able, I think, to clear each other, because as soon as one gets ahead, the rest apparently just magically catch up.
It's a huge fight for the top 10. For a place in the top 10 here, headed out by Chilmo. I mean, it's literally... What is this? A 5-car battle within 1 second.
And I am seeing some rain here. I'm on board with Chilmo, and I am seeing some rain. So it does look like it's started to rain here, very slightly on the circuit. And we have 8 laps to go. So the rain coming a little bit earlier than I think we expected early on in this race. I expected maybe the last 3 or 4 laps, but no, 8 laps to go. And oddly enough, though, as the rain starts coming down, we're also seeing a little bit of sun start to come back out. It started to rain, but it's also gotten a little bit brighter.
And it's a weird look, but now this is just going back to my point with Scar Logan. Has this just played out perfectly? Depending on how heavy it rains, if these guys are in front of them feel like they need to switch to inters because their harder tire combats can't cope with the wet track as good as the Scarlo's softs could, Scarlo maybe could just not pit. Trying to hang it out last 8 laps or last 4 laps on a wet track with soft tires. You never know. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot easier to get temperature into those softs, but if they're worn out, then the grip might even out there, and if they're too worn out, he gets past both Ferraris, actually. I know he was chasing Craigo. He's passed F1 Richie already.
Yeah, 19 lap old hards probably wasn't the most difficult thing in the world, as catastrophically to look at Cozy. But yeah, F1 Richie's not able to keep up with Scarlo at the moment. Much fresher tires for the Haas.
Yeah,
and Timor's really getting close to us.
Here goes F1 Richie in the pits. And are we going to see a gamble here? Yes, I think we are. I did see some green striped tires. We are. So we're going to see our first gamble on the inters. I think F1 Richie does not really have a choice. He's getting held up there. Not sure what that's all about.
Yeah,
no, he's off. Might have just been a slight glitch on our end. Yeah, so the first gamble, I think he doesn't really have a choice. Of course, it's not wet enough for inters, but if he pits now, then and it does become wet enough, he's gonna have to pit again. So he's gonna end up losing out, just about the same as if he just pits for inters and it never becomes inters weather. So smart strategy call there, I guess, making the best of a difficult situation. Is Hartman getting any closer to Chilma? He is.
He's starting to catch him just a little bit.
But we're seeing now, oh, there we go, yeah, Hartman went deep and Cozy catching up to his speed. I was going to mention, we're starting to see now the hard tire runners start to go a little bit deep here on some corners as they start to struggle with temperatures and just braking in time because these tires have less mechanical grip. And he's going to lose 2 position now as Hartman as he drops down behind Catastrophic as well.
I still don't think it's time yet for the inters, but we're approaching the crossover phase for sure as we start to see some guys struggle for grip.
Yeah, it's 100% not time. I can tell you that. Oh, Catastrophic is had a spin right behind them, and I think he's gonna pit now. He's going, well, I'm spinning on these tires. I'm gonna go on the inters now as he dives into the pits. Scarlogan pitted as well. Yeah, so he's gonna go on the inters. So we're starting to see more and more tires. More and more drivers put on the wet compound or the intermediate compound tires. The green walled tires that you're going to see on the cars there with some light grooves to clear out the rain. And interesting call there because out of all the drivers on the grid, he had the best tires in terms of grip and temperature.
D. Morton is Stunek.
Yeah, I was just tuning into that. D-Moore's going to get ahead of them. I don't think that's going to be a very difficult move there for the Renault as the Stunek's tires are absolutely destroyed. They're so old. And I feel like, yeah, and D-Moore's goes wide deep. Though. That's a mistake. And Stunek's going to make, there it goes. So that was a bit of an awkward situation there because D-Moore's going deep. Stunek had some wheel spin coming out of the corner, so he wasn't able to clear D-Morts, and they both had to go in the pit, so Stunek had to basically patiently wait for D-Morts to get past him again, so it wouldn't cause a collision going into the pit lane. And he's going to...
didn't pit.
Yeah, so Mivako's staying out. There's and who is that? Is that Cozy? Cozy's had a spin. Now everybody is starting to get caught out by these changeable weather conditions, and I'm seeing a broken wing. Who is that? I think... There might be somebody who's collected.
Mivako is struggling. Look at Mivako's onboard. He can't hardly get the power down. Was this a mistake not to pit?
Mivako does have a great lead. Catastrophic's out of the race. Catastrophic's had a spin here coming out of turn 12. And now we have a safety car. Look at that. Catastrophic with a huge accident. And another driver caught out by turn 12. And especially now in the wet conditions, we have a safety car, and now the field's going to get bunched up to Mivako, and this changes everything. But Mivako, crucially, gets a free pit stop because he's pitted. He has not pit yet. Everyone else is pitted under green flag conditions, and now with 5 laps to go, Mivako is going to be able to get a cheap pit stop, keep his lead, and crucially as well for the Renaults, they're going to be able to pit and not lose their advantage. So Stunek and Scarlogan and who else pitted at the same time? Did they pit a lap too early?
I actually think they pit at the exact right time if the safety car hadn't come out. Because, I mean, you saw Mivako Mivako's getting held up. It's not going to affect anything. He got held up a little bit, but struggling for grip so much that you almost could have thought that maybe these guys who pitted on the lap that he didn't could have really gained some ground on him, but they're going to do that now. But the only unfortunate thing is that Mivako, now has on the same compound tire as everyone else.
Yeah, so at the safety car really coming to change it up here. At the same time, for some drivers, it's just helping them make the safe pit strategy because they no longer have to worry about if the track's going to be suitable for their new tires, because by the time that the safety car comes back in with 2 or 3 laps to go, I think this track's going to be well wet enough for the inters, and I think everyone's just going to be essentially opting for them. Are we going to see any holdouts here? That's the question.
Oh, Mivako nearly lost it. He was so close to what appeared to be him heading straight for the wall under safety car. But he saved it.
Cozy has done that. I was looking at him, and because he was one of the holdouts there who has not pitted for inters yet, and coming out of who was that? Was that turn 4? Coming out of turn 4, losing the rear, hitting the wall. He's going to have to pit for sure now because he's got no front wing.
Why would you not pit? I know you try.
I do believe that it was because his teammate was in the pits.
Well then that would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Not like it's going to matter because yeah, his teammate's right behind him. He's going to get past him anyways. So maybe not a great call there. Maverick on the softs as well. So it looks like the other holdout there being Maverick, RR1 Wing, is in the pits right now getting off those soft tires. The other holdout being Maverick, is he going to pit?
Wait and see.
Fortunately for these guys, for Chilmo and Hartman, they are stuck behind Cozy. Because, well, I think they've gone past him now.
I didn't even notice. Yeah, you can see on the mini-map. I was completely unaware of Cozy holding nearly the back half.
Yeah, well, he's got no grip, he's got no wing, and he can't get that car turn for corners. But the game isn't allowing anybody to get past them, and as you can see, there's a big queue of people right behind the Red Bull. We're going to have to rush to catch up to the field now because I'm fairly sure this is gonna be safety car in at the end of the lap.
Yeah, well, Cozy's not he hasn't made too many friends off of that one, and then gets a 5-second speeding penalty for good measure, so it's just really just an avalanche of events for Cozy these past couple of laps.
Yeah, from bad to worse there for the Red Bull driver, and they were having such a good day, both Red Bull teams, just right at the top there of the order for very much most of this afternoon, I gotta say. And fortunately for them, though, Cozy getting taken out of the running because of the rain. Hartman as well. I think we saw him had a moment earlier. He's recovered quite well. And Stunek, who I think definitely could have been challenging for the win right now. He's down in P4 after that spin, which I do have to admit, recovered very nicely from.
So it looks like safety car is going to go around for another lap. Because the last time it was out, it would already been called in by now.
Yeah, we do get some late call-ins sometimes, but yeah, we might just get a 2-lap dash to the end of this race here. I know for sure that some of these cars aren't going to catch up. There's no question about that. Joseph Cozy's too far back. RR1 Wing has caught up. He's somewhere in this queue, to be honest. Yeah, he's behind Crago in P6. And we're seeing Ix and Maverick and Cozy all running. ISRL Ix, what happened to him? Did you catch that? Because he was running very well for most of this race. Now he's down into P13.
Sure. I mean, a lot of people have been shuffling around kind of that area between 8th and 14th, so not sure off the top of my head, but it's been such an eventful race that something's bound to happen to nearly every driver who's raced today. And
yeah, and let's look at our position sheet here, because I did see him doing very well earlier in this race. I mean, he's down 4 places from where he started. Aizen has had a tough drive ahead of him after that early spin in the drive-through, getting himself back up into P11, so in the points. And with the safety car restart, I think he can get maybe himself up into the top 10.
He's got the deck in front of him. It's kind of like a reset almost. Everything that happened before this means nothing now. You know, yeah. You got 2 laps
except the
when
penalties.
You get back to the line to get your best finish. Yeah, that does mean a little bit, but 2 laps they did.
And Ix getting a penalty there under safety car. That's not what you want to see. In our chat here, Jedi saying the safety car is going to need to pit for new tires soon. Aaron Farrell, who's been counting the victims of turn 12, says victim number 3. And Jedi, Chris making fun of me looking into the sky, and Jedi saying, Jeff, this is a bit ago, right before the rain started to fully fall. But Jedi is saying Jeff is going to confuse the hell out of everyone pretty soon. And I think he did, considering we saw the different strategies and when people came in that we saw. It would have been much more confusing had the safety car not come out. But here we go. Mivako, we're getting ready to get the grid going again. We're going to ride on board with the end of the world for this restart. We wait and see for when Mivako's going to go. And is he going to go now? There he goes. Very careful on the throttle. You don't want to lose it coming out of the last corner. And off goes Mivako. Now that penalty that he took earlier on in this race is going to be crucial. We had a spin at the back somewhere. I know there's something going on, but I want to focus on the front here. Cozy back into the pits. I think the deck has had a spin. And the rest of the grid, a very staggered start there. We're already seeing a ton of gaps forming, but Mivako with 2 laps to go here, lap 28 out of 29, is going to conserve the lead. Cozy retiring from the session there off the restart, probably picked up damage towards the end of the restart. Is Stuning trying his luck down the inside of D-Mort's. Oh, they're going to touch. Stuning's going to have to go to the inside of the corner. Good job from both drivers not to crash there. And now they're both going to be attacking the Renault of D-Mort. Scar Logan had his hand too. He gets pushed wide towards the wall. Craigo is going to be next to give it a shot. D-Mort's is struggling out here as he's just losing position after position. He was in third. He's now fighting to keep 4th place as Craigo is going to look to the inside. Not this time. He's going to wait for the straightaway. They were side by side at the start of that straight line. Not the case when they came out. Look how far Craigo fell back going through 11 and 12. And Scar Logan as well is trying to get himself back up in the front there. I think he's lost the position there off the restart. He's down into P6. We have a yellow flag in sector 3. I think that's cleared itself up nicely.
Ooh,
I think that was
into the world.
Maverick
under a second.
End of the world starting to pick up the pace there. We are not going to get DRS between now and the end of the race. We are going to see End of the World try his best to catch up to Mivako because he's a second away and he's only got 14 corners. No, 12 corners left to go because he's on the second straightaway here and getting that gap down. I think he took an extra lap there to get his tires warmed up, but now he's pushing all out and Mivako's starting to gain some speed again. I think maybe just recovering a little bit and he's going to speed off again. Yeah, Mivako just leaving him in the dust. Craigo trying to catch up to D-Morts. That's not going to happen. Scar Logan right behind them trying to fend off Richie. I think he's going to be okay there with the rain. It's making it a lot harder to overtake. Stunik, though, he managed to overtake into 3rd place. Let's hope he keeps that podium after the penalties. ISRL X getting past the deck further down the field. And F1 Richie. Do you think he's going to be able to get past Scar Logan here before the end? He doesn't have too many chances. Scar Logan weaving, trying to get temperature into those tires. And I think, does Scar Logan have a little bit of front wing damage? He does. That explains why he's not able to catch up to Craigo. And yeah, coming through the final set of corners, we're going to look at Mivako. He's going to be, there you go, turn 15, turn 16. And I think that's going to be it. Yes, Mivako is going to come across the finish line and he's going to win the Australian Grand Prix. End of the World coming home in 2nd. Penalties not affecting this race result. Stunik in 3rd, D-Mort's in 4th, and Craigo is going to jump into 4th place. F1 Richie in 5th as well. Chilmo getting ahead on the penalties for Scar Logan. That's 7th for Chilmo, 8th for Scar Logan. Hartman coming home in 9th. He's going to drop down to 12th though as the deck and Bembo cross the line. And wow, that's it. That's the Australian Grand Prix. Mivako picks up yet another win, extends his lead on the championship, and I think now this is the point where he's just looking to wrap it up. He's no longer looking to defend. He's looking to win, and he's got the lead for it as he stands on the top step of the podium again. And that was a great race there. Stunik picking up another podium, a well-deserved one after a couple tough races. But wow, what did you think of that race? That was exciting. We had some safety cars, we had some plot twists, and I'm not 100% sure how I feel about that. That was a good race. That was a good race.
Very, very enjoyable. Everybody picked up penalties, so nobody could tame the Albert Park circuit. But I guess you could say Mivako did it because he kind of won the race. So
yeah, started first,
typical,
finished first.
Typical or usual face you see up at the front. Stunik gets a great podium. After that spin he had, too.
It was good recovery.
Yeah,
very good recovery from Stunik. But here we go. Your final results there. Mivako P1, End of the World P2, and Stunik P3. That's your podium. Craigo and F1 Richie, both Ferraris, coming just short there of the podium. 4th and 5th. Demorts in 6th. Chilmo 7th. Scar Logan, who was up in and fighting for the podiums near the end, he finishes P8, Aizen P9, the deck P10, Maverick, Ix, Benbow, Hartman are one wing, ISRL Cozy, and Catastrophic, and then Catastrophic, Fallen Monkeys Killing for Cash, your retirements from the session. That's, yeah, that's been absolutely fantastic racing. Can we try to get the race winners in here? Because I think Mivako and End of the World and Stunik need to get in the party. I believe Stunik is already part of this party. But let's try to get the winners in here. Some good racing though. We saw, like you said, variable weather, some different tire strategies, and at the end, a win with Mivako, and extending his lead, yet another victory for the Alfa Romeo driver. And through the year, how many does that give him? Let's see. I believe he's up to, there's a Renault on the podium in the last 2 races there in Tier 3. Mivako, that's only his 3rd win on the season. He hasn't won since round 2, so since the French GP. So I'm sure he's gonna be very happy to be back on the top step there. Let's just get these drivers in real quick. As we get our drivers in for some possible interviews there at the end, it's 12:30 in Canada right now, and our Tier 2 race starts in half an hour at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So don't go anywhere after these interviews. We're going to be right back with some more driving. Now, first off, Mivako, excellent win. That's your 3rd one for the season. And your first one since round 2. How do you feel being back on the top step of the podium?
I'm so happy right now. After France, I have some really ups and downs, but mostly downs. But now I have another win. I'm so happy that I delete the double one, get pole, and win the race. So I'm very happy about this win.
Yeah, dominant performance there today as you, like you said, you get pole, you held it all the way till the end of the race, through the conditions, through 2 safety car restarts, and now you get to extend your lead on your rivals. And F1 Richie not getting a great race, which means you are essentially, you've been gifted the stranglehold on the championship here. What do you have to do between now and the end of the season to make sure that that turns into a championship win?
I think just keep finishing in the points and don't do anything stupid about do a move from 5th to 4th. Just keep the later points coming. I think it will be good and fine.
Yeah, any tracks on the calendar that you're scared of, or maybe even looking forward to?
Yeah, the next race, Belgium. I love that track. It's my home track, so that's the track where I think I go well. But next, the round after Belgium, Baku, I'm a little bit afraid from the safety cars, and it's a small street circuit and the Castle section. So we will see what happened there. But that are the two my good circuit and my bad circuit.
Yeah, so there's this was round 12. There's 6 rounds to go here, so you got 6 rounds to close this one out. I do wish you the best of luck. I'm sure that your competitors who are also in here won't. End of the world, are you there?
I'm here, yep.
Yeah, so good race for you there, getting a podium in those variable conditions. How did that race go?
It was good. I was very disappointed with my qualifying performance. Just couldn't put a lap together, so I think I started 6th. And turn 1 here at Australia is just so treacherous, so I took it quite cautiously and lost another couple of places. And then the whole race was kind of just hoping the rain was going to come. I'm pretty confident in my wet pace. So,
yeah, absolutely. And those safety cars there, you've played those perfectly with the second one at the end having already staying out on the dry tires. How treacherous was the track there towards the end before you got to pit?
That was that was more luck than skill, that call. I was diving into the pits, and last second I saw my teammate D-Mort's ahead of me going into the pits. So I decided to stay out, and I'm delighted the safety car was out because it would have been really tough. We would have been losing a lot of time, I think, from the back on that lap.
Absolutely. That was a great race from you, Carter. Do you have anything to add? Is Carter here? Maybe Carter is
Carter's having a break.
he's got the mic off or something. But yeah, that's a good haul of points for you in the championship. You started strong last week, and now you're gonna, just looking at the championships real quick, you're probably gonna be lifting yourself up 2 to 3 positions there. It's always tough to join a championship halfway through the year there. You've been set at a big disadvantage from the rest of your competitors. How do you think you're going to make the most of it, despite missing all those rounds?
This season, this is my first season doing league racing, so it's all learn experience. So I'm just happy to be here, to be competing, and to be testing myself. And I think it takes a bit of the pressure off, knowing that Mivako is so ahead in front, that I just need to focus on my performance on each race and not think about too much, not think at all about the standings, and hopefully next season then can make a challenge from week 1.
Yeah, absolutely. But great race. Congratulations to you on the podium. And now we switch over to the Alpha Tower driver, Stunik. Are you there?
What's going on?
Yeah. Tell us about that race. You had your spin early that set you back. Great recovery drive. And how did you pull that off?
First off, congrats to Mivako and Enda. No one was touching Mivako today. There was no touching. The spin, little bit of a lapse of judgment there. I was just paying attention, seeing who crashed, because I saw the safety car thing come out, and I looked up, and I looked over the track map, and I just nipped the grass. Huge mental error, but luckily with the safety car being out and just getting onto the hards, I knew comfortably from earlier practice sessions during the week that the hards, if you really push them and just make them last, and thank God there was rain coming. I just put myself in position. I just knew that all the guys ahead had to make a pit stop because they started on the soft. So just pretty much stay patient and stay calm and just avoid all the incidents. And I was just aiming for some points, but podium is more than I could ask for.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to stop you real quick.
Yeah,
Billy, one comment, Stunik rather. Billy's his real name. After everything that you have been talking about these past couple of weeks about you being in such a down mood, not getting the results, how good does it feel to be back on that podium? You put yourself, as you said, in the right position at the right time, and you executed.
Well, here's the thing, man. Going into this week, I know that in our past 2 seasons here at ISRL, I've yet to finish an Australian Grand Prix. So honestly, that was the main focus going into this race was, hey, just cross the line. Just avoid damage, just take damage control. But a podium, because I've been having a string of bad luck lately, so the podium is just that's extra icing on the cake. So I'm super stoked.
Be sure to use that as momentum into the final home stretch of this season 3. Knight, I'm gonna let you say a last couple of words and just sign us off here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, great race to all the drivers. Thank you first and foremost for joining the interview room there. Congratulations on your podium, and best of luck in the upcoming races. We are going to have to run off here as we get the Tier 2 race set up, and hope to see all of you in the live stream in just over 20 minutes. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to go check out our other social media. Thank you guys all for watching. ISRL Night in the booth with ISRL Carter. I hope you've enjoyed this race and have a wonderful rest of your day.